Hey guys and girls or whoever's watching, welcome to my third Spanish tutorial and my first tutorial to utilize PowerPoint instead of Google Slides. So I hope you like the new design. Alright, so let's look at what we have today. First, let's review the colors from our previous tutorial. So if you don't remember rojo, just remember the phrase no go on the rojo to remember that rojo means red, and usually you don't want to press the red button. Naranja means orange, and fun fact, it's the same as the word for the fruit orange. Amarillo means yellow, like an armadillo walking on yellow sand. Verde means green, like vernal having to do with spring, which is often associated with the color green. Azul means blue, because it starts with the same letter as aquamarine. Not really sure how that's a connection. Purpura is pretty much the same as the English word, so no mnemonic device needed. And rosa is pink, like a pink rose. Black can be marron, like maroon, or café, like coffee. Blanca is white, like a white blank sheet of paper when you start drawing on it. And negro means black. So now that we've finished our review, let's move on to our actual material. First, this is a very important slide that you'll probably need for the rest of your time watching this video or future videos. This is about how to form questions in Spanish. So unlike in English, Spanish is the only language to have inverted question marks at the beginning of a question to let the reader understand where a question begins when reading it out loud. This is usually essential for longer phrases where oftentimes you wouldn't realize it's a question until you got to the question mark at the end. So let's help you realize it's a question before it's too late. You just include an inverted question mark. And just like in English, the question word, which we'll get to on the next slide, is usually the first word. And Spanish does not have helping verbs like do in English. So in English you might ask, who you like playing basketball? But in Spanish the corresponding phrase would literally just mean, you like playing basketball? I know it's weird, but eventually you'll get used to it the more fluent you get in Spanish. Okay, so with that in mind, when pronouncing a question, make sure to raise your inflection near the end, like I just did. Now let's take a look at some examples. So, first let's review our question words in Spanish. So, quién means who, qué is what, dónde is where, cuándo is when, por qué is why, cómo is how, cuál is which, and cuántos is how many or how much. So now, I don't expect you to know every question on here just yet. I'll cover these in the next couple of presentations, but let's read them out loud together, just to help you get a sense of the sentence structure in Spanish. ¿Quién eres? ¿Qué te gusta hacer? ¿De dónde eres? ¿Cuándo es tu cumpleaños? ¿Por qué eso es tu favorita? ¿Cómo te llamas? ¿Cuál es la fecha de hoy? ¿Cuántos años tienes? So that literally means how many years do you have? I'm sorry it's a little cut off, but it's often interpreted to mean how old are you? And we'll get to that more. We'll also get to that more in future presentations, but for now, it's something pretty fun. We're going to name activities in Spanish. So the word activity itself is actividad. It's almost the same word. But the word for club, as in a chess club, is exactly the same word as in English. Sport is deporte. I'm not sure if I can think of a mnemonic device for that, but both the same letters are the same. You can probably figure that out. Play is jugar. So think of a game with milk jugs. Jugar. Just remember, it's not jugar, it's jugar. And fun as an adjective is divertido, which relates to fun as a noun, which is diversión. You can think of it as creating a diversion from another activity. Then I like is me gusta, so think of it as meaning the opposite of disgust. And naturally, the opposite I don't like is no me gusta. No me gusta. In case you want to know the plurals of any of these words, just take a look at these 3 rules. If a word ends in a vowel, then you just add an S like you would most of the time in English. And if a word ends in a consonant, you just add ES so it can end in a vowel, so then you can add S. But here's where it gets a little tricky. If a word ends in Z, change it to a C, then add ES. The reason simply being that ZE will never be encountered in Spanish. It's kind of similar to how in English when a word has a V at the end, when a word has an F at the end, for example, life, you change it to a V before adding S. For example, life and lives. It's kind of the same thing in Spanish, but with Z's. So take a look at these example sentences to help you understand how each word is used in a sentence. Again, I don't expect you to know the meaning of the whole sentence, but this is just also to get a feel of the overall sentence structure in Spanish. Me gusta participar en actividades. Hay muchos deportes para intentar. Me gusta jugar al ajedrez. Este juego es muy divertido. ¿Tienes mucha diversión? There's an example of our inverted question marks. Me gusta fútbol americano, pero no me gusta golf. If you want to spend more time checking out the English translation, feel free to pause the video here. So now here's where it gets a little more fun, or divertido. Here's where we name sports in Spanish. So ball is balón. That's almost the same word. Then basketball combines the Spanish word for ball, balón, with word for basket, cesto. Put them together and you get baloncesto, which means basketball. Then soccer is football. I know it looks like football, but that's what most countries outside of the United States call soccer. Our football is totally unique. And tennis is pretty much the same word, but with only 1 N instead of 2. So I don't really imagine needing a mnemonic device. Volleyball is also almost the same word, voleibol. Hockey and golf are both the same words. I just put smiley faces so you don't have to remember anything. And football is fútbol americano, literally American football, since once again, we're the only country that plays it. Bowling is bolos. It almost looks like balón because it's one of the first sports that often comes to mind when it comes to sports with balls. Then chess is ajedrez. Think of it as meaning a headdress, because some chess pieces, like the bishop and queen, appear to be wearing headdresses. And now here's some more example sentences. Once again, I don't expect you to be able to translate everything in these sentences. They're just for you to look at to understand how the word is used in a sentence. Me gusta jugar deportes con balones. Oh, another thing, it also helps you learn the correct pronunciation. Mi deporte favorito es baloncesto. Again, all English translations are on this page. El deporte más popular es fútbol. Tenis es jugado en un corte. No me gusta el voleibol. Hockey puede ser jugado sobre hielo. Fútbol americano es muy único. El golf es mejor jugado afuera. El bolos es muy divertido. Me gusta participar en el club de ajedrez. There's the word de there. In Spanish, as I'm going to say multiple times, is a very literal language. So Club de Ajedrez literally means club of chess, not chess club. Just to help it clarify that chess is still a noun, not an adjective. So I guess that pretty much concludes our lesson for today. So thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. It's called Busy's OK channel, if any of you are wondering. Like I said before in my 2 previous tutorials, I hope to hit 100 subscribers real soon so I can start live streaming. And Hope to see you with more Spanish tutorials tomorrow. Sorry I accidentally skipped a day. Adios.